Good afternoon, everybody. It's truly wonderful to see so many of you here today in this extraordinary, beautiful place. Welcome to you, our newly qualified CIPS members from 20 nations today, and to your family, friends, and supporters. Well done. It's a huge day for all of us, and it is really fabulous to be able to be part of it. And as I look out at all of you, I know the effort you've all put in to be here today. And thank you to those who've travelled so far and taken the time to be with us in person. I'd like to share 3 stories with you. The first is about a young woman I recently met in New Zealand, in Wellington. Emma works in the Department of Corrections there. Her job is to procure equipment for the prison service. It's a job she takes extremely seriously. She knows if she isn't ingenious and imaginative, then unacceptable risks are introduced to the nearly 10,000 inmates in the prisons of New Zealand. She described to me in extraordinary detail the need for specialist equipment and deep thought, like mattresses with no metal content, with flexible cutlery. In fact, she described to me an environment full of unwelcome innovation by inmates and the constant need for her to think beyond them, to remain one step ahead, to protect others. My next story is about Abdullah, who I first met in Saudi Arabia, where some of the most impressive projects on the planet are underway to transform that nation. Today, Abdullah leads the procurement team of the Saudi Railway Company. He is leading the rollout of 15,000 kilometers of track across Saudi Arabia within 5 years. He talks with extraordinary passion about his work and how satisfying it is. When I met him, he said, "CIPS has changed my life. I love CIPS." He's one of a number of people I've met who've said this as I've traveled to hear from members across the globe. He has risen through the ranks there and now leads the team, which is transforming Saudi Arabia. My third story is about Alison Bartow, who is the chair of the Board of Trustees of CIPS in the United Kingdom. Roughly 20 years ago, she sat where you are sitting now. A year later, she was recognised in our annual CIPS Awards as the rising star and was awarded something called the Hart Prize. This was picked up by HSBC, who immediately recruited her. And sometime later, she became the Director of Procurement there, responsible for £13 billion worth of spend through HSBC. So you're in the right place, doing the right thing at the right time. Today, Alison became a trustee. She's the chair of the board and is developing our profession, making a huge contribution to developing the future of our profession. And she not only does that, she's contributing to the world we live in through a startup business called Carbonaires, capturing carbon to reuse it. She's also a member of the procurement board of Vodafone. So why do I tell you this? Because these people and you work in a profession where it is possible to make a positive difference. And I've traveled extensively in the last 6 months, and I've seen this going on across the globe. And I believe there is an opportunity now to make even more of this as the world changes and develops. Today, you are making an important step forward in our profession. Procurement and supply chain professionals work at the intersection of forces that are quite literally shaping our world. Your judgments about cost and value are fundamental to your organization's prosperity. Your decisions about suppliers and supply chains are hugely consequential for the planet and for societies around the world. And these decisions also drive enormous innovation. Think about what's happening in artificial intelligence at the moment. Your working life is directly connected to fast-changing and momentous geopolitical events around the world. We only have to consider the recent tariff situation. So this is a world of the modern procurement supply professional, where you will be forging your career. I have every confidence you will have a great career, no question. But there are bound to be tough times. We all face those at some stage of our career. The times when you have to make difficult decisions with incomplete information, when you are satisfying competing and sometimes irreconcilable problems, when you are facing ethical challenges and must share unpopular truths. It comes to all of us. I'm sure you're familiar with it. But what I wanted to say to you today is you will always have CIPS alongside you. We're not just here, present today, for your graduation and to give you the certification, to recognise your achievements. We are honoured to do that. I'm genuinely thrilled and honoured to do that. But we are here with you for your whole career. As you forge new and exciting paths in your career, we want you to think of CIPS as your base camp, your safe ship in a storm, where you can turn to as a place for rejuvenation and new skills, a community of like-minded people with whom you can network and share experiences, a stimulating environment where you can find guidance and new opportunities, where you can make friends and establish lifelong relationships and become the future of the procurement and supply chain profession as it becomes increasingly important to the global economy, the national economies from the nations you're all in. As you move through your career, there are so many ways that you can use and connect with the CIPS community. For example, if your job takes you to a new part of the world, you will almost certainly find another CIPS member nearby, no matter where you find yourself. We are in 180 countries. There are 95 or 94 CIPS branches around the world. We are opening new offices in East and West Africa, in India, in the Caribbean, all over the world. And I can assure you, having spent much time with the volunteers and CIPS members around the world, there's nothing everyone enjoys more than connecting and feeling part of the CIPS movement and community. And this is a growing one, and I can assure you, you're part of something that is on an onwards and upwards exciting trajectory. If you face difficult decisions, you can share them with the CIPS community and you will find answers and wisdom. When important milestones come to you in your career, the promotion, the move to a new industry, the step up to charter status and into the C-suite, I know that you will be reassured to know that CIPS and the CIPS community are behind you. We are in this together. And so as you proceed through your career, you may also want to think about volunteering, mentoring, and inspiring the future generation of procurement professionals. I honestly believe, knowing what I know and how familiar I am now with what's going on, there's never been a more exciting time to be working in procurement and supply today. Around the world, economies are emerging, new industries are being created, new technologies are transforming the way we work. According to the World Economic Forum, supply chain and procurement jobs will be among the most in demand in the years ahead. And those of you with CIPS qualifications are incredibly well placed to be at the front of the queue for those opportunities. From what I've learned, there are about 13 million people in the world who are doing jobs related to procurement and supply, and that seems to be growing at a rate of about 10%, and that reflects the nature of business today. And you are putting yourself in the forefront of the leadership of this profession by being here today. So many, many congratulations. And at the top of amazing companies like Apple and General Motors, we see leaders like Tim Cook and Mary Barra, who hone their skills in procurement. And I believe many more of the future leaders of these great businesses will share our background. And indeed, many of you may be sitting here right now. So think big, be confident. This is so relevant to the world we live in. I suspect the past month have been really demanding. CIPS qualifications are tough, no question. We know that as the global body for procurement and supply, we have a responsibility to drive the highest standards. But you've done it, and all credit to you for that. And on behalf of the whole team at CIPS, I'd like to congratulate you on your commitment, knowledge, and skill that you've used to get you here today. We wish you sincerely huge and continued success. We would like you to stay connected with us, and we look forward to supporting you in every aspect of your career from here. And finally, because success is a team effort, I'd also like to acknowledge your friends, family and colleagues who have helped you get here today. So well done, so nice to be here with you today. It's one of literally the high point of the year for us. And looking forward to sharing a drink with you all afterwards and getting to know one or two of you. I'm now going to hand over to Cobra Islam, one of the stars of the show.